I became involved with the church's special need program when we joined the church a couple of years ago, and it's called Kids Incredible, and it's Sunday mornings and Wednesday nights, and we have about 15 kids in our special need program here at First Baptist, and I was kind of surprised. Our church has 5,000 members, and so I was surprised that that was such a small population of special need kids, especially when 1 out of 150 is autistic. I was wondering where all these kids were. They're either not coming to church or not coming to our church. I researched a bunch of other churches, and most big churches out there have a Friday night respite program, and so I just decided to start one here at First Baptist. I was working one Sunday morning in our special need program, and a mother was dropping off her 13-year-old autistic son, and she said, "This is our 4th church, and I just hope it works." And she wasn't very optimistic, and I looked at the other volunteer and I said, "We're going to make it work. We're not beeping her." And so that just breaks my heart that these people cannot go to church because they're embarrassed or they're ashamed or the churches aren't welcoming. And I want our church to welcome everybody. God makes no mistakes. None of these children are a mistake. They are God's special children. They were made for a reason, and we're just here to love them. I mean, God loves them just the way they are, and we love them just the way they are, and we want them to feel at home in our church. To get started, I talked to our children's minister, and she was on board, and so she talked to the other pastors, and we kind of got the go-ahead, and literally it's not like we have a big budget or anything. And so then I went and talked to other churches that had this program, Stonebriar Community Church in Frisco and Custer Road, United Methodist in Plano, and they have great programs. Their programs have been going on for years, and they have waiting lists and tons of kids involved. So I met with them, and those two ladies at those churches basically trained me on what to do, and they even have meetings once a quarter where all the respite coordinators can go and use different ideas and things like that, so we exchange ideas at those, so that helped. The main way I get volunteers is I go to different Sunday school classes. Here at First Baptist we call them BFGs, and I go to the different Sunday school classes and I talk about the program and ask if they want to get involved, and I usually get a BFG to adopt 1 month. And it's such a low commitment because it's like once a year they're volunteering. So I get the BFGs to adopt 1 month, and then they usually provide the volunteers for that. And I send out a training manual in my confirmation email, but then we do our training the night of. The volunteers get here at 5:30, they're fed dinner, and they get about a 15-minute quick training. But basically it's just showing the love of Christ to these kids and just making them feel safe and welcome. And the night is very child-led, so it's kind of just doing what your child wants to do. If your child wants to watch a movie or play the Wii or play in our sensory room or play on the playground, that's fine as long as they're having a good time. And a lot of parents, when they drop off their kids at first, are a little nervous about who their kids are going to be with, and so all of our special need kids are matched one-on-one with a volunteer. Their siblings are matched about 3 or 4 on one, but every special need child is one-on-one, and that is a requirement of the program. In fact, we usually have a waiting list of special need kids because I only allow however many volunteers I have for that amount of children to come. And all the volunteers are background checked, and that is just through the church. They background check all of our volunteers. And one thing we found successful in reaching the community is contacting the different autistic groups here in McKinney. We have a group here in McKinney called the OCC. We contacted them, and they spread the word, and that's where a lot of our kids have come from. We also contacted all the PPCDs in the area, preschool program for children with disabilities, and we sent flyers to them. I dropped them off at their schools with those special ed teachers. I gave flyers to all the special ed teachers at all the schools here, and it's been a lot of word of mouth. The Downs Network has kind of got a hold of it and sent out emails. Out of the 25 kids here tonight, only 4 go to our church. So it's mostly reaching out to the community and getting this network going, and people hear about it and they call me, and so it's kind of just getting the word out. This is a very new program. We just started in September. So this is our 4th month. So it's a very new program. We're still kind of working out the kinks. But I like to tell the volunteers it's controlled chaos. It's fun, it's crazy, and for all those type A personalities, there's not a set agenda. There's just lots of different rooms and lots of different fun things to do. Some tips I would give if someone's starting a program is to have a lot of different options. Have a craft room, have a game room. We have a Wii, have a video game room. And a lot of autistic kids love video games. So you also need to have a timer or an adult in there that tells them when to stop, or they'll just play it all night and no one else will get on the Wii. But I like how we have it set up with lots of different rooms. We use 2 entire hallways in the church. They can play on the playground, they can play the Wii, they can watch a movie, they can be in a calm room with low stimulation for those autistic kids that really get overstimulated. And we have a full sensory room built for basically these autistic kids that need a lot of stimulation and a lot of hands-on activities. So I think the key is having a lot of options for these kids to do. I am a volunteer. I'm not a paid staff member, and so I just kind of do this in my spare time, and it's a lot of just behind the scenes organizing it. And I just have a heart for special need kids. That's why I wanted to start it. I don't have much of a background in special needs kids. I've worked with them a lot, been around them a lot, and so I just have a heart for them. I just felt like as a church this size, we needed to reach out. Some of the challenges I think we face are volunteer burnout. I mean, with a church this size, I'm hoping that I can have enough volunteers where they only have to do it on a rotation basis. Some volunteers actually come every single month, and this is their mission field. This is what they want to do. Instead of teaching Sunday school on Sunday morning, they want to work once a Friday a month and work with these special need kids. So I'm hoping that I can just keep the momentum going, keep the volunteers going. I have to tell you, another challenge is communication in a church this size. I mean, it's a huge church, and everyone wants the pastor's attention, and everyone wants to get their word out on Sunday morning. And so just getting the word out is hard to do. And the way I do that is going to different Sunday school classes and talking about it kind of one-on-one with those classes. And that seems to help a little, because then you kind of get the personal feel. I have a scrapbook of the special need kids, and parents have actually submitted prayer requests. And so people can put a name and a face with these kids that we're seeing, and that draws them in. They're like, oh, I didn't know that we had so many kids coming. And so the scrapbook does really help when I bring that to classes.